In the past 3 months, a mother of several children locked up in an iron chain has captivated the attention of the Chinese people. Her story has garnered more interest than the Winter Olympics, which Beijing spent a fortune on. On February 21st, a netizen posted a screenshot on Weibo about a hashtag, official notification of the woman who gave birth to 8 children in Suzhou, Fang County. The post says, "The mouth of the public can't be blocked, and the search of the phrase can't be squashed." The screenshot shows that this topic generated close to 5 billion reads and nearly 4 million discussions in 24 hours. In December 2021, a village official in eastern China organized a charity event for the local poor. The poor household receiving the benefits was a villager named Dong Ji-min. Dong met all the party's criteria for being a classic poor household. He has an elderly mother, a disabled brother, a son who is just old enough to get a job to support the family, and 7 young children between the ages of 3 and 10. Under the Chinese Communist Party's 3-child policy, Dong's multiple-child household is a good representation of a so-called happy rural family. After the event, some local Douyin, or the Chinese version of TikTok vloggers, came to visit and show their support. With the attention of the online celebrity vloggers, Dong became a bit of an online sensation. At that time, no one noticed any problem. That is, in all the footage, only the father, children, and grandmother appeared. Where's the mother? At the end of December 2021, a Douyin vlogger found a hut next to Dong's house when he was live streaming. He walked in and saw a woman, dressed thinly in the cold winter, with a light quilt on her bed and a bowl of frozen porridge on the table. She had a chain around her neck. The vlogger hurriedly found a jacket to put on her. He also found that even though the woman isn't old, all her teeth were gone. Her speech wasn't very clear. Later, multiple sources have revealed that the tip of her tongue had been cut off. She's the mother of the 7 children. Later, evidence suggested that the oldest son belongs to a different woman. Chinese audiences who saw the video were shocked and outraged. A spontaneous civil search and rescue effort began. Although the official media was silent, the story began to ferment on Chinese social media platforms. The woman also got a nickname as the Iron-Chained Woman. She is found to have an accent from the southwestern provinces of China. From the few intelligible sentences people made out of her speech, it's unspeakably sad.
Somewhere far away. It's impossible for me to leave. The world doesn't want me anymore. The world doesn't want me. This house is full of rapists.
In a powerful surge by Chinese citizens, a photo of a little girl who disappeared 25 years ago in southwest China has emerged. Her name is Li Ying, and she disappeared on her way to school in 1996. Li was 12 years old at the time, a 6th grade student. Li's father, a soldier, is now deceased, and her mother is still alive. The young girl is very pretty, and her resemblance to the woman with the iron chain is striking. The military buddy of Li Ying's father and his relatives have therefore submitted a request for a DNA comparison. A well-known artist and specialist in computer graphics from Fang County posted a message on social media saying that the local villagers told him that the iron-chained woman should be Li Ying and that her teeth were pulled out with pliers because the men who raped her didn't want her to bite. As the story unfolded, a lot more information started to appear all over the Chinese internet, pointing to the same conclusion. Based on the massive amount of information, people started to question the government. Is the woman with the iron chain the missing girl, Li Ying? Is Dong Ji-min involved in the trafficking of women? Is he the only one suspected of raping the iron-chained woman? Sadly, the Chinese public hasn't been given any credible answers to all these questions. On February 23rd, the Chinese government had issued 4 notices in succession. They contradict one another and are full of loopholes. They have filled the public with even more suspicion that there might be more horrors and darkness behind this incident than what was originally thought. Going forward, we'll use heroine to refer to the iron-chained woman to avoid potential censorship. The first notice from the Feng County government on January 28th stated that the heroine was a local, there was no abduction, and her name was Yang Xia, who suffered from mental illness and was thus having a chain around her neck. 2 days later, on January 30th, the Feng County government's second notice said the heroine was picked up by Dong's father on the street. She has been taken to a psychiatric hospital, and Dong's behavior of restraining her with chains is illegal and is being investigated. On February 7th, the third notice said that the incident may have been an act of abduction. The heroine is Yang Xia, who was abducted from Yunnan province. Her original name was Xiaohua Mei, which means Little Plum Blossom in English. She was a married woman who was later abducted and is a member of the Lili ethnic minority in the southwest of China. The DNA of all 8 children matched that of Yang Xia. 3 days later, on February 10th, a fourth government notice appeared, stating that the DNA identified the heroine, Yang Xia, as the same of Xiaohua Mei, a married woman missing in Yunnan province. Dong Jimin has been criminally charged on suspicion of illegal detention. It can be seen that the CCP is giving in to the boiling public opinion and is eager to put a stop to it. Perhaps to the party, the tragedy of a married woman would be less damaging than that of a 12-year-old girl. But the Communist Party has underestimated the public's intelligence. On February 12th, 3 people from Yunnan province, a beer vendor, a tea merchant, and a friend, visited Xiaohua Mei's hometown. 2 of the 3 people were former journalists in China's official media. The 3 citizen journalists interviewed Xiaohua Mei's sister, village officials, her uncles, cousins, neighbors, childhood playmates, and a number of other relevant people. Their investigation demonstrates that the heroine in the video is too different from Xiaohua Mei. On February 15th, a Weibo celebrity blogger, Deng Fei, released a piece of heavyweight evidence. He used to be a well-known investigative journalist, but is now engaged in charity works. He was named to be the China National Television CCTV Charity Person of the Year in December 2013, along with martial arts movie star Jet Li. On his Weibo post, Deng showed the marriage certificate of Dong Jimin and a woman named Yang Qingxiang. The marriage certificate establishes that the woman is now 52 years old and has a very different appearance from the heroine. At the same time, the veteran journalist also revealed that the eldest son in the family has a registered birth date of March 1997. According to the second official notice, the heroine was picked up on the street in June 1998. The official statement claims that all 8 children were born to the heroine. Then how is it possible for the eldest son to be born a year before she was taken into the Dong family? In addition, netizens later found out from public information that as of February 21, 2022, Dong Jimin held an unmarried status. If Dong was unmarried, who forged his marriage certificate? This adds to a growing mystery. Who is the woman in the photo? Is she also an abducted woman? Where is the missing Xiaohua Mei? Is she also locked up somewhere in the Dong family? As a result of the collective attention of the Chinese public, the previously little-known Feng County of Suzhou has now become infamous among the global Chinese community. Many people have compiled extensive records of women's abduction in the Suzhou region. The Chinese publication Chinese Times published a report in the 11th issue of 1994 titled Suzhou, the Fierce Battle Between Civilization and Stupidity. In the article, Suzhou was mentioned as a transit hub for the trafficking of women and children. The 1989 book, In Ancient Sin, a chronicle of the nationwide trafficking of women, wrote that from 1986 to 1989, traffickers had abducted a total of 48,100 women from all over the country to the 6 counties under the jurisdiction of Suzhou City. The youngest of these women was 13 years old. The journalist who reported on it randomly polled a village in Suzhou and discovered that abducted women accounted for 2/3 of the young married women in the village. In government archives entitled Local History of Jiangsu Province, it states that in 2000, Suzhou City launched a special operation to rescue 12,000 women and 5,400 children who had been abducted. But have the women and children who were trafficked in Suzhou really been rescued? China Economic Weekly is a well-known media outlet in China. On February 15th, it reported a case in which a woman surnamed Zhao, who was trafficked to Feng County in 2014, asked a court for a divorce under the law, citing poor marital foundation and failure to cultivate a marital relationship after the marriage. However, the court in Feng County ruled that the case was not supported. Netizens compiling CCP official reports found at least 7 cases of women found dead in rivers or wells in Feng County in the past 6 years, and 1 anonymous woman found dead in a wheat field. Tweets from outside China revealed that local elders recalled that between 1985 and 2000, more than 30 abducted women from the village where the heroine lived died either by physical force or suicide by drinking pesticides. With the combined efforts of local patriotical forces, grassroots local officials, including the judiciary, it is impossible for trafficked women to escape. Death appears to be the only way out for them. Perhaps you wonder that Dong Ji-min is just a poor villager. The government can quell public anger by imposing severe punishment on him. Why should the truth of the incident be covered up for such a long time, allowing the incident to snowball? There is an anonymous post online that we cannot verify, but it seems to have provided an explanation for the question. The post explains that although Dong Ji-min is a peasant, he belongs to a large family clan in the area which has formed an extensive network of power throughout Suzhou City for decades. The clan's power reaches up to some of Beijing's central ministries, down to various industries in the county and rural areas, and has penetrated the Communist Party's officialdom and the local triads. Any new local officials have to read the face of this clan, and when some didn't, they were poisoned. Buying wives is an open practice in the area. There is also a protocol that newly bought brides have to be offered to local men of status to first sleep with. At least 2 of these men have been confessed by Dong Ji-min. The anonymous post also revealed that someone from Dong's family threatened the top officials in Suzhou with mutual destruction in an internal meeting. On February 19th, an online article made the rounds outside of China. Although the author claimed to be consolidating information, many media sources believe the information came from within the CCP because of its specific language and details. According to the article, Li Ying was used by traffickers to bribe local officials because of her beauty. The local officials had accepted so many of these types of bribes that their wives were unhappy and complained to their superiors. Most of the children of the Dong family were not Dong's blood, but the local politicians. They were given to Dong to raise on their behalf. Dong was chosen because he had experience in brutalizing and killing trafficked women, so the officials left Li Ying in his care. Rest assured that she would not escape. Because Li Ying was always able to give birth to boys, she was favored by the local officials and was constantly raped. As a result, the Dong family, with so many children, was not fined despite the one-child policy at the time, but was given a generous amount of money for poverty alleviation. The article appears in the context of the announcement by Chinese state television a few days ago, on February 17th, that an official investigation team had been set up by the provincial government of Jiangsu. Such a development has been made possible by the tireless efforts of Chinese folks. After the case came to light at the end of December 2021, nearly 100 women drove to Feng County to visit the heroine. The vast majority of them were intercepted by the police. You guys don't have much power. You can't make a fuss. You can't make up any storm. You can't make a fuss. Especially you guys in charge. Once you take the lead, you will be arrested. You have to go to jail. I tell you clearly. Among them are 2 women who left for the village on February 12th. One of them has a Weibo holder named I Can Hold 120 Pounds. She was born in the 1990s. We will refer to her as 120. She has a following of 148,000 followers. These 2 women, armed with flowers and a note, wanted to visit the heroine. Their note reads, "Sister, the world hasn't abandoned you." But they were attacked on the way. They went to the police station in Feng County to report the incident, but were detained instead. It was not until February 18th that 120 updated her Weibo account. In the post, she described a group of male police officers twisting her hands behind her back, handcuffing her, and holding a black computer bag with an airtight lining wrapped tightly around her head, where she was almost suffocated and died. After screaming for help, she was replaced with a black hood. She then received intense interrogation for 5 days, which led her to almost lose consciousness. She was unable to adjust to the harsh bathroom schedule in the detention center that she couldn't help but urinate and defecate in public. Now, she has been released to her home under close supervision, including having 3 meals delivered to her daily. The Post-90 girl writes, "The extreme fear made me subconsciously turn on my whole body defense mode almost instantly, and with it came the collapse of my worldview. What I had always trusted, what my country had always taught me, had all been lies. They had become thorns stuck in my body." Despite the official crackdown, many people on Weibo insisted on posting a question of the day about the incident, not letting the topic disappear from the web. They wrote, "One more concern, one more voice, one more force, keep monitoring, one question a day." In a rare move, the Chinese financial sector took the front line and collectively boycotted and took down Suzhou City and Feng County-related financial products on their own initiative. They exposed the alarming government debt rate of Feng County and at the same time put together a list of urban construction investment bonds of Feng County for wide dissemination. It has completely destroyed the credit of the county government. At the same time, almost all products from Suzhou and Feng County have been listed on Taobao, the equivalent of Amazon in China, to warn people not to buy them. Peking University launched a co-signed open letter followed by other universities in China. Chinese netizens have launched an online campaign to collect signatures as well. Blind Mountain, a movie released in China years ago which depicts the story of trafficked women, has exploded on the Chinese internet. Its director wrote in an online post, "This movie was wholly produced by me. By rights, I am supposed to fight piracy and collect royalties, but I won't. You are welcome to repost it and watch it." Now, individual Chinese performing artists and former government officials are speaking out too. A former municipal party secretary in Shenzhen wrote a poem calling for evil deeds to be pursued. Yi Jingzi, the granddaughter of the CCP marshal, also posted on Weibo, calling for a permanent solution to the problem and stating that Feng County is only the tip of the iceberg and that others should be pursued as well. A post widely circulated on Weibo read, "We should not only care about which girl's neck hangs the gold medal, but also which woman's neck is locked by the iron chain. Because most of us, our daughters, won't likely become the former, but are very likely to accidentally become the latter." I believe our concern will put pressure on the local government to restore the truth and save these trafficked women and children. Thank you all. Today it's the mother of 8 children in Suzhou abducted. Another day, our relatives, friends, and even family members might be abducted. An abduction is a disaster for a family. I hope everyone will keep paying attention to this incident. Everyone like it, share it. China's internet and social media are strictly controlled. The fact that news of the woman in chains has been spreading so widely and for so long could be a result of some internet police letting the story slip through. On overseas social media Twitter, an account called Pride Girls has been following and providing updates on the story. The account claims that the information comes from an in-depth investigation by the Pride Girls in China. The account has always identified the heroine as Li Ying, saying that the Pride Girls have collected the heroine's hair and blood and sent it out of China for testing. On February 21st, the Pride Girls released a map of Li Ying's trail of abduction and said it was the result of help from many people in China, including the help of some police officers in the past, as well as some people who have been involved in human trafficking before but wish for redemption now. Pride Girls points out in particular that Guiyang in Guizhou province is the transit hub for all abducted women from the 3 surrounding provinces. The path of Li Ying's abduction shows that human trafficking in China has been made into a full-scale industry. There is a division of labor and cooperation between those who abduct and procure, and the process is rather seamless. On February 17th, the Communist Party announced the establishment of an official investigation team at the level of the Jiangsu Provincial Committee, which gave hope to the Chinese public and some journalists, but they soon realized that such hope was misplaced. The village of Dongji in Feng County, where the incident took place, is now cordoned off by a large number of police and the People's Armed Forces. Photos uploaded by netizens show that the village is suspected to have been completely surrounded by a ring of iron along the highway, prohibiting any outsiders from entering. China's system of local armed forces departments came under military jurisdiction in 1996, so this village is in fact under martial control. What has this investigation team done in the few short days they have been here? They have done 3 things quickly. 1. They interviewed about 30 people to find out who had leaked the marriage certificate. For example, on February 21st, a woman named Pearl posted in her circle of friends that the Suzhou police had questioned her several times as to whether she had given the veteran journalist, Deng Fei, the marriage license. Pearl is a teacher who helped blind lawyer Chen Guangcheng escape from China. 2. Found all the people who have been to the heroine's house, checked the video that has been taken, and demanded them not to upload or accept interviews to prevent any further leakage. At the same time, guard carefully against other videos related to the abduction and trafficking of women. It has issued a directive to deal with the problematic marriage certificate of any families involved in trafficking as soon as possible. 3. The investigation team began a comprehensive suppression of public opinion by warning, summoning, and detaining netizens who followed, shared, and commented on the incident. This operation includes the deletion, warning, or blocking of a large number of active Weibo vloggers and WeChat accounts. Several bookstores have publicly expressed sympathy and appealed to the public not to forget the heroine, and the owners have been warned in interviews and forced to cancel such messages. According to Radio Free Asia, more than 100 people were summoned and warned in Jiangsu and Anhui provinces during this period. On the evening of February 19th, a group of female students in Shanghai handed out flyers on the street calling for continued public attention to the heroine's case. The police used face recognition technology and quickly locked them down, and the Weibo feeds that were reposted were immediately shut down. Xiao Huamei family was also warned by the police. Villagers are likely to retract their previous claims in the future. Li Ying's mother has already told the media that the heroine is not her daughter, Li Ying. On February 22nd, Pride Girls tweeted, "After the last message from the Pride Girls in Suzhou, it's been almost 2 days now and no news has come out. It seems that Suzhou has got really strict beyond imagination." On Weibo, WeChat, and other platforms, a large number of 50-cent water army swarmed in, claiming that those who spoke out for the heroine were anti-Chinese people and were working with overseas forces. That the heroine has children and a happy sex life, rescuing the abducted women could cause a tragedy of family separation, and so on. Rumors have it that there is a heated debate within the investigation team on how to handle this matter, and that it may be up to the current party leader Xi Jinping to make a decision on the end of this matter. We are not optimistic about this. For the CCP, preserving the party's ruling position and authority is more important than all the misery and suffering in the world. Where is the heroine now? No one knows. Chinese officials have released a video showing her being taken to the Fencheng Psychiatric Hospital where she's being cared for by doctors. Just rest for a while. You'll be okay. Drink water.
Let me go.
You don't feel well. Tell me what's wrong. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. It will soon be fine. The anonymous source said that the heroine was later transferred, and even the Fencheng Psychiatric Hospital doesn't know where she has been transferred to. On February 11th, two netizens emailed overseas Chinese media saying that the government is planning to perform a lobotomy on the chained woman to make her completely lose her memory and become a real lunatic. The February 19th article that appeared in response to the establishment of the Jiangsu Provincial Investigation Team expressed similar sentiments, writing that Li Ying's current condition is that she can express herself clearly in words, but that the authorities will use drugs to completely dumb her down. At the same time, Deng Jimin will be heavily sentenced, some other traffickers will be arrested, and a few low-ranking officials will be dealt with. But the authorities will never admit that the woman with the iron chain is Li Ying, nor will they allow her to have a memory or consciousness. On February 20th, a tweet reaffirms such a likelihood. The tweet reads, "A Jiangsu police officer risked his life to send a message that the higher-ups have demanded that Feng County doesn't have any more cases of women in chains." Suzhou City has borrowed a large number of police officers from neighboring provinces to seal off Feng County. Police are secretly arresting and secretly detaining all the chained women village by village. There are tens of thousands of these chained women. What dangers will they encounter? It's worrisome. On February 23rd, the Jiangsu Provincial Investigation Team released its latest notice. It confirms how accurate the prediction was. The latest statement basically upholds the claim made by the city of Suzhou, stating that the heroine is Yang X-Shai, also known as Xiao Hua Mei. She isn't Li Ying as the public concerns. Deng Jimin is guilty of abuse, but not rape. The heroine suffers from schizophrenia, and the cause of her tooth loss is periodontal disease. 17 officials, mainly at the county level, have been disciplined. The woman in chains is heartbreaking. Born as a human being, no one should be treated that way. However, the incident reveals that a gentle and previous part still remains in the hearts of most Chinese, including those within the establishment, despite it being buried deeply under all kinds of party propaganda and compulsory brainwashing. The heroine's tragic ordeal has breached the bottom line of any human decency. Both the origin of this tragedy and how it has progressed point to the special values and the system of the CCP. It has prompted more Chinese people to awaken and may ignite a fuse for change in China. No matter how hard the CCP tries, it will not be able to quell the storm that has already swept through the hearts of more than 1 billion people in China.